video like, "You're what's up, y'all?"
Okay.
Nah, don't do that. Hey friends, it's Christy here, and I'm coming to you today with a series that I like to call Roommates Uncoded. And in this series, we're going to be talking about our journey through having a roommate. And indeed, anyone can tell you that this journey is a very interesting one. But we're going to be starting from having those conversations with your roommate as you're moving in and getting to know each other and going all the way through until you move out. So before we get into the video, don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll be coming to you every week with new videos, not only about this series, but about a lot of different topics that I wanted to touch on. All right, let's get into it. So my first tip, without a doubt, has to be communicate. So when moving in with the roommate, you may not know them or you may not know them that well, or you might be friends with this roommate. So either way, you want to start off the relationship communicating, because without communication, this is going to go left. And I promise you that. So when I say communicate, I mean like plan a sit down discussion for the next 4 topics actually. So my second tip would definitely have to be talking about bills. And when I say bills, I mean your Con Ed, I'm talking about your Nat Grid. I'm also talking about whether you and your roommate decide to share things like maybe a phone bill, grocery shopping, and cleaning supplies, like any of those kind of things that you feel like you have to dish money on together with your roommate. I would definitely say discuss that. Talk about who's going to be in charge of paying it, whose name is on the bill. You want to talk about the form of payment that you're going to do. And these are really the things that are going to test you moving forward as you live with this person. My third tip is definitely set your boundaries. And I think that this might be one of the most important tips that I have for you today, just because I feel like living with a roommate can get really sticky if boundaries are not set. So when I'm talking about boundaries, I'm talking about discussing how you use the shared space. I'm talking about boundaries when it comes to your room, and even maybe your personal space if it gets that deep, because it might get crazy. So sit down, have those discussions. Like you might want to start off by saying like, when I have friends over, I'll make sure I'll give you the heads up, and I think it would be nice if you did the same. Just so, as you're living your life, you know what's going on in your own house and in your own shared living space, so that no one is shocked about what they walk into or feel uncomfortable in when they're paying rent. You know what I mean? So number 4, another very important thing I'll have to say is talk about your schedules. So for me especially, the couple times that I've had a roommate, there's only been one bathroom, right? And especially if you're living with girls, that's a problem, because we take some time to get ready, right? And you don't want to wake up already like upset that you have to get up out of your bed to go to work, because that's a problem for me as well. But you don't want to get up and then want to go to the bathroom and someone is in the shower when you need to hurry up and get ready and go. So you got to make sure you set those boundaries. See what time your work schedules are. If they fluctuate, maybe you might want to put up a calendar, letting your roommates know what days and what times you're going to be up and in the bathroom. Just keeping that open line of communication always, like we said in tip number 1. So now let's go on to my 5th and final tip. Definitely discuss the chores. And I know we're not living at our parents' house, and maybe you're in a college dorm or whatever you guys are doing. But either way, there's things to do in the apartment that you don't want to have to pick up after someone else, right? So there's, who's going to clean the floor, who's cleaning the bathroom, because it's the bathroom. It needs to be cleaned. And making sure that everyone cleans up after themselves. What about the garbage? Who's taking out the garbage? Do you guys have pets? If they have a pet, they need to be on their cleaning stuff, because we know pets are not clean on their own all the time, right? Maybe have a chore schedule. Who's in charge of taking out the garbage this week? Maybe next week, who does what days, right? I also think that it will help with accountability, because now there's no pointing fingers back and forth. Who was supposed to do this? Who was supposed to do that? You just know it was her week to take out the garbage. Now the garbage is full. So what what are we gonna do about this? Yeah, so simple things like that just to implement within your relationships, just so you know that you've touched base on everything, and just to minimize those unnecessary arguments, those unnecessary falling outs, and just those things that you know that you can just be in control of and be happy with going forward. So that's it for this video. I hope you guys found my tips helpful and you use that to build a strong relationship with your roommate and live a peaceful life. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks.